Welcome back to part 2 of how to play Mahjong. Today we'll be talking about the point system. So without further ado, let us begin. Why learn the point system in the first place? Now, the point system completes Mahjong as a whole. This basically differentiates most of the different Mahjongs from each other, since each and every single type of Mahjong or variant of Mahjong all use the same rule set, but the point system is what differs it. So let's say you go to Japanese Mahjong instead of our regular Singapore Mahjong, you will still have your triplets, you will still have your runs, you will still have the condition being 4 sets of 3 and 1 pair. But the scoring system is completely different. I played both. I think I'm expert 1. I'm expert 1 in Mahjong Seoul. So I played Richie Mahjong and I played Singapore Mahjong. So it completes the game in its whole, and it brings out the variance as its whole, as its own identity. The next reason is because everyone would know how to play it. If you tell someone, oh, I know what is Shi San Yao, everyone would know it immediately if they play Mahjong enough. If they don't, then you'll be at a disadvantage. They will be at a disadvantage when they're playing. The next two will be money reasons. If you learn the point system, you can go for bigger hands for more money, or you can be aware of what your opponent is doing and try to prevent yourself from losing the money, and it adds the strategy to the game. Instead of prioritizing cheap wins or any hand prioritizing speed, you can prioritize value instead. Now, here's a disclaimer before we get started to all the ways you can win in Mahjong, because there's a lot. Okay, there's a lot. I took 8 hours just to compile all the damn wins, okay? This is a lot. Singapore Mahjong is special in the sense that every single fucking household has fucking different rules. I kid you not. The main ones are still intact. Okay, the main ones are still intact. But there are some rules that just exist and some rules that don't. For example, let's say for whatever reason, you decide to win on the same tile. Let's say player A and player B both win on the same tile. I personally think because you win right, you deserve to win money. But other rules says whoever is closest to the dealer wins while everyone else lose. Even the person who won. So, different place, different rules. Every single damn place in Singapore has its own different set of rules, and you have to keep on asking them. I'm serious. There's one place where I played where it just went, oh yeah, I guess that's a hand. What do you mean that's a hand? There's no rule book or anything. You're just telling me that any mishmash of hand is a hand? You know. Now, this video will be specific about my rules that I researched about in the Wikipedia that was taken down. There was a Wikipedia site and then you can just read it. I'll put a link to it under the description for you guys to read it yourself. It's around 40-50 pages? Yeah. Not fun. And there's so many. So, if you're not sure, this is your first time going to some other places, some other guy's place, and it's not me, ask them about the rules. For some reason, you can have Kalong in the middle of Pinghu or something like that, and I just look at them and just go, good job. You shall learn what is Kalong or Pinghu later on. But yeah, ask the host, ask the hostess, ask them for rules. Each and every single Singapore household is different for some damn reason. Now, before we go to the point system, let's go on to the payment system itself. Some Mahjong hands are worth more than other Mahjong hands, and as a result, they have these things called points, known as Tai, Fan, or Han. 1台, 2台, 3台, 1 台, 2台, 3台, or Fan. I just call them points because English translation, a lot of people like to direct translate it and say it's a double, which is where you get the implications of money payout later, but 1 point I think conveys the message well enough. More points means more money to win, and there's 2 types of payment system. Now, there's shooter pays double and shooter pays all. Whenever someone wins a round, they can either self-draw it, we call it self-drawn, or there can be a shooter. When you self-draw it, both of these payment systems will be the exact same. Everyone just pays double. But this one is, this the distinction between shooters is very important here. So there's two types of shooters, shooter-based double and shooter-based all. Shooter-based double starts with non-shooters have to pay as well. So let's say someone shot into some guy. Everyone in the table must pay. Winnings will obviously be diminished as a result because unless you win the round, you lose. So if you have a bad hand, you are just there waiting for death. You're just waiting to lose. On the flip side, losses will be mitigated because even as the shooter shots in or whatnot, if everyone is losing money for the times that people win, it's just a lower stake. It is very popular with the older generation, but nowadays there's a shift towards shooter pays all. Non-shooters don't pay, while as the person who gave the winning tile must pay for every run. Winnings will be retained because if you don't shoot, you don't lose. And the flip side, losses will be emphasized. If you keep shooting, you have to pay a lot more because it's all coming from you. There has been a shift in modern times to play more shooter pays all than shooter pays double. Because shooter pays all emphasizes a lot on defense theory, where shooter pays double emphasizes more on offense theory. I will explain this more on the part 3 of the video, and we shall explain and elaborate the differences, but this is the main two types of styles that people can play. The next one is the payout system. So at the start, people will have a minimum points to win and a maximum point to win. The minimum, so what is the minimum for? The minimum is to stop people from wasting time winning little amounts. Let's say someone wins with no points. When people win with no points, that means no money is being transferred, which means it's a wasted round. The minimum is commonly 1 or 2 points within Singapore Mahjong itself. And penalties exist for those that declare wins below the minimum points. So your hand must have a minimum of 1 or 2, depending on host, depending on hostess. Oftentimes there is a cap on points, and there are some hands that are called limit hands. Limit hands are basically hands that go up to whatever you set the points as. So most commonly it's known as 5 points. You play for, let's say you play a very rare hand called 13 Orphans. 13 Orphans by right should be 13 points. By left, the 13 Orphans will be capped at 5 points. My house goes to 7 points if it's a special enough win. Because to me, it just feels a bit sad when your 13 Orphans that comes around every year, once or twice, is demoted to 5 points because of your cap. This is exactly the same as, what's that hand called? This is exactly the same as collecting 4 animals. I mean, 4 animals is pretty cool, but 13 Orphans or your 3 greater scholars or whatnot. Come on, those are rare. And you're telling me they're the same as 5 points? Now, you do need to notice that points are not stacked additively. It's not just 5 point win, or we call it mantai. It's not just 5 times 1 point wins, but 32 times 1 point wins. As the name suggests for Thai, called double, it's double of the previous one. Now let's talk about it in the most 2 common types of payout system, 1-2 and 0.3, 0.6. 1-2 is the base standard. Basically, you have this. This is the rules of the payout for my house. I just copy pasted it. But for the max itself, you basically take the number of points, your Thai, you put it 2 to the power of that, and you multiply it by base. I play 10 cents, 20 cents because I am poor. Sucks to be poor. Support me on Ko-Fi such that I can gamble more. Now, as you can see here, shooter pays all will have to pay 2 to the power n plus 1. This is because you're going to add it up. So shooter by right is supposed to pay 2, regular pay 1, and there's another regular which is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 4. Then you move on and on and on. Basically, this number plus 1 times 2 to the power of that times your base. So for $1 base, this is how much you have to pay. And this is the special hand. If you can get this, you basically can score, if you can get a special enough hand, this will give you the maximum amount. Those hands are very, very rare. Otherwise, it's capped at 5. So this is the maths behind it. I played with 20 cents before, 30 cents before. Yeah, those are pretty fun. But this is as you can see here, self-drawn actually is quite incredible. So everyone is acted as a shooter So if you're self-drawn, right, everyone pays you 2, everyone pays you 4, everyone pays you 8. So 2 times 3 is 6, which is more than the shooter pays all itself. This is important for next video, where we shall be emphasizing how we want to expand the number of options we have to self-draw it instead of waiting for someone to shoot it in. This is 1, 2, so you can change it around. Then the 0.3, 0.6 payout system, which is very popular in Singapore as well. As you can see here, the numbers are a bit different. They're not all powers of 2 now. And that is because you're rounding up. So for the regular, you take the shooter. Let's say you have 1 point. 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 times 0.3 is 30 cents. 30 cents round up is 1. That's why you got $1 here. Then if you shoot, you pay double of that. So 1 times 2 is 2. Then you shoot the base or it will be 1 times 2 times 2, so 4. Similarly, here will be 2 times 2. Oh, it's not 2 times 2 because you just times it, right? So 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 times 30 cents is 120. 120 round up is 2. 120 times 2 is 240. 240 round up is 3. Then add it up. 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. Same thing here. You just add up all the numbers such that you get the shooter pays all. So take this times 2 plus the shooter. Then you can have the self-drawn it as the exact same as the shooter itself. If you guys want to change the numbers itself, let's say you don't want the 7 special, let's say you want to play 10, go ahead, change the numbers, just follow the formula and whatnot. It is literally 2 to 12 or whatever, because it's times 2. Okay, now, for pay for all, right, there are times where you feel it's unfair. Stupid idiots will throw in 2 tiles and shoot and you have to pay it. There's only a few certain hands that you can be excused for other people's mistake. In shooter-based double, there are circumstances where someone has to pay as if they are shooter pays all. Those circumstances are very simple. 1, let's say player A is very close to winning. He has 3 exposed sets in front of him, close to a very good hand. Let's assume it's full flush, or where every tile is the same tile. Or full flush, which every tile is the same suit, sorry. And you decide to see, I want to discard one thing from that suit because I want to win. If he wins off your discard, or he takes your discard and wins, you pay for everyone on the table to be fair. Because everyone can tell he's going for full flush. He wants to have suits of that color. And you decide to go and test your luck. What does that mean? It means that if, let's say, based on the regular rules, everyone else has to suffer because of your stupid idiot mistake. But now, because of this rule, you're the person that is tanking everything for them. So if, let's say, they win, or they take your discard and win, you pay for everyone. You'll be a very unhappy guy, but everyone else will be much happier because you're an idiot. Okay, not you, but this guy in example. So, this is the circumstances that has happened. I shall talk more about it for full flush, point limit and whatnot, but it is a very simple principle. If you see 3 of sets are completed, and he has a 4 set, and his 3 sets are completed, and you decide to go and help him, you pay for everyone. Because you're trolling, let's just say that. Finally, before we move on to the actual point system itself, let's talk about Yao Dao or payment. There are certain conditions where you can get where everyone has to give money to you. This includes getting both your flower, I'll talk about more about your flower part, a set of flowers, same set which is the same color, getting both of other flowers. This is messed up. Imagine this. You get other people's flowers, which grants you a point for you to win, and then you ask them for payment. Hey, give me money. You're really slapping their face again, eh? Getting contrasting animal. This is where Yao Dao or instant bitten represents. The cat eat the rat and the chicken eat the earthworm. Everyone must pay. Getting all 4 animals has to pay. Spirit animal, I don't play this, but apparently it's, oh, you're born in the year of the chicken. If you get chicken, you get double points or something like that. Different house, different rules. Gang or completing a quartz. And then said money will differ based on household. Basically, in my household, we play based on the cents. My base is 10 cents, so we play 10 cents. So everyone must give 10 cents if this happens. Just to give a illustration, if let's say there's an open gang, a flower pair, an animal pair, everyone pays you 10 cents, everyone pays you 10 cents. Closed gang, 20 cents, which is basically hidden. Full flower set, full animal set, everyone pays you 40 cents. Now, let's talk about the point system. There's this Reddit post that asks, it's the usual Mahjong Reddit question, which is, hey, I have all the sets now, why can't I win? And then it's always going to be the same thing. You don't have a Yaku, you're in Fury 10, you are trash. These are all Richie Mahjong terms, so we'll not be talking about it here. Then they will ask, why do I need a Yaku? I saw this Reddit answer and I thought it was really good. It's because, you can quickly read it, but basically he's just saying, your hand lacks elegance. Scraps with no thought deserve minimum win because they contain something. And more elegant hands deserves bigger wins, like flush or all triplets. Or this one is Sanshoku, that's what it is. Wishes you put more thoughts into assembling your hand. I'm gonna be honest, yeah, that's pretty, he cooked here, he's based, but really? Dragon Group? Advantageous win field? Okay, I can understand. Dragon Group? You really telling me because it contains a Dragon Group, he deserves a minimum win? Hell no! That's my opinion now, but the point system rationale is a way to inject risk versus reward into the system. Instead of all hands being ranked the same, some hands are going to be ranked more, and hard and easier hands will be ranked less. The easier hands will rank you less, but the amount of points that you can get, the amount of ways that you can win is faster. Versus the harder hands they need you to arrange in a certain format, slows you down, and increases the risk of someone else winning. But obviously, when you do win, the reward is much higher as well. So, some hands that are truly expensive will break the usual limit of 5. Let's say I'm going for 13 orphans. I'll go to 7 points instead of 5. As you can see here, 7 points is 4 times. 4 times as much as 5 points. It is a winner, like, this will change the entire game if you do hit it. We don't do more than 7 because everything else will be too much. Harder hands need you to slow down, and easier hands can get you wins, but the reward is low. So as a result, you plan and strategize based on your hand that you have. How do you get points then? The first one, there's 3 ways to 3 parts. The first one, I consider them to be easy. Your hand can be garbage, but when you get an animal or your own flower, you get it. The other ones will be triplets or wins, triplets or orders. Your hand doesn't need to be built around it to get the points. The next one will be medium to build. Basically, you need to build your hand around it. And the last one will be praying to your religion. This is very, very rare, but if you can get it, you can brag it to every single person. Do note that you can stack one of these points for each other. Let's say you have a win, and you decide to build your hand around, let's say, a flush. You can stack those points together and thus giving you more points. All the points are stacked up together, and your 1 point hand can potentially grow into a 4 point hand if you get lucky enough. Let's talk about the easy peasy lemon squeezy part first. First one, this is the easiest one. I do hope you're paying attention because whenever you get an animal, 1 point. Yeah, you can just play the way you usually play. This is enough to win. You have it, you win. If you have all 4 of these guys, plus 4 from each animal, plus 1 more for completing the set, that's 5 points. Done. This is the easiest way to get a point, which is why everyone gets happy until some guys don't because of Pinghu. We shall talk about that later. Bonus flower tile. If you get your own flower tile, you get 1 point. Now, this is dependent on your seat. If you're banker, you're 1. If you're after banker, you're 2. Opposite to banker, 3. Before banker, 4. That's it. Get one of these guys, 1 point, easy. And you get both of them, everyone pays you money. So you get 2 points for your hand, and everyone needs to pay you money. 10 cents in my case, but ask your host person. Honor tiles, this requires a bit more work. Let's say you have a triplet of any of the 3 honors. This is the green dragon honor, white one, red one. You get this, but it doesn't need to be in your hand. It can be exposed, 1 point. So green, red, white. Yeah, that's about it. Win is going to be a bit more confusing. Remember I said 1, 2, 3, 4. East will be 1, south will be 2, north will be 3, west will be 4, because it goes anti-clockwise. Which Makes sense. No, I can't tell direction. So you get a triplet of it, you get 1 point. If your triple east win as banker, you get 1 point immediately. Super easy. So east, south, west, north. I'm pretty sure if I'm not dyslexic enough, this should be the way. Then round win is your indicator. Remember how I said Mahjong has 4 times 4 rounds? Then each 4 will be each win. So you have east win round 1, east win round 2. That east win, if you get a triplet of those, you get +1. So let's say you have this, a triplet of east win. In east win itself, it's +1, and your banker, it's +1 again. So you can combine them to become 2 points. Just check the indicator like I said before, or you can ask someone for reference. Now, this is where all the easy hands are gone. There's 5 easy ones. This is the mid difficulty one. You need to build your hand around it. The first one, I like this the most. Most people say it's controversial. 门清 concealed. Without taking any discards from anyone, +1. This means no chi, no pong, no exposed gang. And this is where all your 13 tiles are hidden in your hand. That's why it says concealed. And whenever someone throws the winning tile, you can win and +1 point. This is a disciplined hand. Let's say your hand is garbage. You cannot find a single way to get a point. This is your go-to method to get a point by just not taking from anyone. Even if they are throwing tiles that you really want and you want to take it, you need the discipline to say no, I will not declare anything. Now, some places even say this. You need to self-draw it to win. This is called 门清自摸, and you get the 1 point for that. So you need to 自摸 you need to draw your last tile, then you can win 1 more point. Which I think is messed up lah, because you're already waiting for so long. Then you see all your winning tiles all gone and you just think to yourself, man, why am I here just to suffer? For me, right, if it's shooter pays double, you can win on someone else's discard. If a shooter pays all, you must self-draw it. The reason is because if a shooter pays all, the person doesn't even know you're waiting for a win, okay? So it's not fair that he has to pay for everyone. But shooter pays double, the points usually are much lesser stakes. So that's why I will allow you to win on discards. So as an example, let's say I have all these guys. I have a pair, a triplet, a pair, a 2 runs, and now I'm waiting for the 8 bamboo and the 9 ball. If I draw the 8 bamboo or the 9 ball, I will get 1 point. Or someone else throws it. This is my winning tile. It's just the basics one. But do note, you cannot declare, you cannot take from anyone else. This is also the next simplest one. Peng Peng Hu, or all triplets. Win with 4 triplets and a pair, +2 points. Super easy as well. Just take, just pong, 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 and then wait for the last tile. Easy, that's about it. Yeah, this is easy. Just wait for the last tile. The other one is also easy. This is 2 points. As you can tell, 2 points is I think around 4. Your net win will be how much? 80 cents basically if you're playing in my house. 7 pairs. 7 pairs is a controversial hand in my household, but if you win with 7 pairs, you get 2 points. This is one of the 2 hands that break the normal 4 sets of 3 and 1 pair. So you have 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, 4 pair, 5 pair, 6 pair. Due to the nature of 7 pairs, it is very easy to conceal it because you can't pong, you can't chi anyways. So this is oftentimes not a 2 point hand, but a 3 points hand. And it is well worth the 3 points because this hand is dog shit garbage. I love it still, I love it, but I gotta be admit, this shit is foul. I will talk more about it in part 3. Now, before we move on to flushes, I'm gonna have you guys visualize it. My friends, if you're watching this, too many of you guys have been asking me stupid questions about flush. Especially half flush. Half flush, I don't know what, I think the word half makes everyone gets confused or something. So I would beg you guys to start visualizing it some way like this. If it's a character tile, just visualize it as color red. The ball tile, visualize it as blue. Bamboo tile, visualize it as green. And honor and wind tiles, visualize it as white. A neutral tile. Okay? Let's go through the first one. This is the easier one. 清一色 Full flush. Win with only one suit is 4 points. All your hands must be that suit. This is what I mentioned about where if let's say I have this exposed, this exposed, this exposed, and this is still hidden in my hand. Oh no, it must be this exposed. And I have 4 tiles hidden in my hand. If you throw any one of the ball character, and I win, or I take, and win later on, you pay for everyone on the table. Because this is not their fault that you decide to be a reckless fool. So this costs 4 points. And let's just go back to 4 points for a second. 4 points is a lot. In this one, 1, 2, this is $32. I'll just use dollars from now on. $32 in shooter peso. Shooter peso basically is how much you actually get. Or $20. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Just one below Mantai, which is 64. That's a lot. Imagine what you can do with $32. You can eat one Shabusai meal. That's a lot. Now, the next one is half flush. Half flush is you win with honors and wins with a single tile plus 2 points. You mix the white and one single color together. You don't ask me stupid questions like, do I mix 2 colors together? Because you said pan, which is half. Mix them together and then you win? Is it because you split 3 ways? Because they're even? No, it's one suit and honors or win. White and red, white and blue, or white and green. It's not red and blue or blue and green or red and green. You know what? Yeah. It doesn't matter the amount of white you have. If you have a single white amongst your blue, that's panzer, that's 2 points. A pair of white honors and your 4 sets of bamboo is 2 points. A pair of santong and 4 sets of honor tiles, that's 2 points. This is an example of panzer. So this is 2 points because these guys are white. This is blue. So, as a result, you have half your hand as the balls and the other half as wins or honors. Now, in actuality, this hand isn't 2 points, this hand is 3 points because the green honor tile gives you +1. So you can stack the points up. So Panzer, half flush 2 points, and Green Dragon 3 points. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you can play for more. Let's say you decide to, let's say you draw another copy of this and you decide to play for Pong Pong Hu or all triplets. Then you can just play for more. You get another one. Oh, that's 2 points plus 2 points is 4 points. 4 points plus 1.5 points. That's 5 points already. So, just remember it honors and win plus single tile suit. It is not 2 suits combined together. Please lah. And you thought that was confusing. You thought my frustration is that confusing. No. This is the one that I'm frustrated at. Ping Hu, all sequence hand. Now, there's only 2 sets of 3. Ping Hu, no, 2 sets of 3. A pair or a sequence. All sequence. Doesn't sound too hard in your head, right? No. There's so many stupid restrictions that I have to explain. There's 14 slides dedicated for this hand. This hand should be the easiest to form out of all the other hands. Why is that the case? It is because you have twice the tile acceptance than your regular triplet hands or your regular flushes, because your flush requires you to have the exclusive tile. Or let's say it's your bamboo. You need only bamboo. This is a sequence. Imagine you have a 2, 3. Now you're waiting on a 1 and a 4. That is 8 tiles already for a tile acceptance. As a result, this hand should be your go-to hand because it's easier to achieve. If you win with 4 sets of sequence and a pair, that's 4 points. If you win with 4 sets of sequence and a pair with a bonus tile, that's 1 point. We call it 臭平符 or 小平符. So we call it, I will just say smelly sequence or small sequence. I will tell you, out of all the Singapore Mahjong players, I have never seen anyone happy when they're going for this hand. You think to yourself, I'm going for this hand, and then you draw an animal. You will know hate. You will know how much you want to eat that rat that came to your hand as you just see your 4-point hand devalue into 1 or 2 points. It's frustrating, and then you have to endure the laughter amongst it. What do I mean? Everyone will just laugh at you. Everyone will just straight up and just go, your hand became smelly. And you have to sit there to deal with it. Because this is the torture that you have to sit through. Anyways, 4 sets of sequence and a pair. But there are restrictions to it. Because it's so easy to achieve it. 1. You must have more than 1 winning tile. What do I mean? You must have more than 1 tile to win on. Type of tile, let's just say that. You cannot win in the middle. You have a 2 bamboo, 4 bamboo. Let's say this is your last one. You're waiting for a win. You cannot wait on a 3 bamboo because this is waiting for 1 tile. You cannot wait on an edge. 8, 9, you're waiting on the 7. You cannot wait on that because you're only waiting for 1 tile. You cannot wait for your pair because when you're waiting for a pair, you're waiting for that last tile. You cannot wait for those. 2. Your pair cannot be an honor, a round win, or a seed win. I'll explain the rationale this way. Imagine you have a pair of green drag honors. Now, as you form your hand, you at any time can take it and pong from the other green dragon, thus giving you your point. It breaks your all sequence hand. And if you don't pong it or you don't draw another one, it doesn't really matter, you can move on with life. But Singapore Mahjong sequence hand realized that this gives you way too many possibilities. Hey, you said you're going to commit to an all sequence hand. What do you mean you're going to be playing for a honor tile instead? You don't get it. So, you get restricted. Your eyes cannot be green dragon, cannot be white, it cannot be your round win or your seed win. Any way to get you an extra point or to squeeze a single more possibility for you to not complete your ping fu hand, basically. Let's see some examples. This is a ping fu hand. A pair of eyes, sequence, sequence, sequence. Ooh, this is the last one. You're waiting on a 6 or a 9. That's 1, 2. That's more than 1. Easy. This is not a sequence because you're waiting on 1. This is not a sequence because you're waiting on 1. This is not a sequence because you're waiting on 1. This can evolve into a double-sided wait, so it's okay. This isn't so bad compared to this. This is actually kind of sad. This one is not a sequence hand because these guys are white dragons. These are not a regular tile. You can still find a way to pong it and get a point, which is not committing to the sequence hand. Okay. Now there is a caveat to this. There's a caveat to this. Is that according to some rules, when you self-draw it, you can have it as a ping fu hand or all sequence hand, netting you 4 points. As we discussed, 4 points is a lot. Oops, let me just go back. 4 points is 4 points is how much? 8 times as much as the regular 1 point, which is your standard winner. Or 5 points, 5 times if you play the 30-60 cents. So, what can you do to get your sequence hand? This is a little cheat. When you self-draw it, right? You don't declare that you're waiting on this guy. You declare you had a 7-8. You declare you are having this and you actually drew the 9. This is lying. You are lying. Go ahead if you do it in other places other than mine. If I catch you, you're out. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're lying if you self-draw it and declare this is a ping fu hand. Because you are actually just waiting on 1 tile. You're not being honest here. Here's another one. All sequence hand. Number 2. One set of sequence, 2 set of sequence, 3 set of sequence. Oh, this is weird. You have a sequence, but you have an eye. But you have a sequence and you have an eye here. You're waiting for an eye. What did I say? You can wait on if your winning tiles are more than 1 and 2, basically 2 or above, you can say this is a sequence hand. So as a result, this is a sequence hand because 1 match up or 4, which is 1 and 2 are. If you have a flower, and let's say it's not your flower, this will be a 1 point hand. Yep, you do so much work to be destroyed by flowers, to be destroyed by animals. I've seen people eat chicken KFC right after it. It's truly a mad world out there. They devour the chicken. They say that this is retribution. You will become like them when this happens to you. This is not an all sequence hand, because 1 set, 2 set, 3 set, 4 set, but you're waiting on your eyes, which is 1 tile of acceptance. Doesn't count. This one, 1 tile, doesn't count. This one, 1 tile, it doesn't count. That's it. This one, if your banker or east win, you can pong this such that you get a win, doesn't count as well. So there's only 2 main rules. 1, if you can get a point from forming a triplet for your pair, you don't get sequence. 2, if you are not waiting more than 1 tile of acceptance, you're waiting on 1 tile to win, doesn't count. That's about it. Now the middle one we call it Kalong, or in the middle, and this one is, yeah, we call it Kalong. So some places, right, when you draw the Kalong or something like that, they give you extra money or something like that. I have no idea why. Different places, different rules, I really don't want to keep track of them. Lastly, mixed terminals. A terminal is 1 and 9, the terminal of the respective set. Basically the ends are. If you win with only terminals and the whites, the honors and the wins, it's plus 4 points. And the only way for you to win with mixed terminals is that you have them all as a triplet. So the all triplet is already included in the point allocation, so you don't get extra. So it's 4 points as a whole, which is a lot. And this is very rare. I never seen someone actually got it before. Yeah. Plus you can always stack it. Let's say it's your win. Oh, you get an extra 1 point or something like that. Mixed terminal example. Terminal is basically the white, terminal. And here, if let's say you get the east win, it will be 4 points plus 1, 5. If you get the white dragon, white honor, it will be 4 points plus 2, which is 6. Which is kept down to 5, because it is not a special enough hand. Lastly but not least, this is the praying time. If you get this, you'll feel a lot of joy. You think to yourself, I'm on top of the world. You will say that I'm going to buy Toto tonight and then lose all your money. First one, there will be cheap miracles. These are all plus 1 point. If you win with the last tile drawn, basically the 16th last tile, plus 1 point. This is called Hai Di Lao Re. This one is not in Singapore rule, but I decided to add it because it is very unique. Win on the very last discard, essentially the last guy's discard, known as He Di Lao Yu, or reverse scooping, or Hotte in Japanese. I stole this from Richie Mahjong's. Win on replacement tile for Gang and replacement tile for Hua is Gang Shang Hua or Hua Shang. Basically, when your bonus tiles, you take the tile at the back, you get plus 1 point if you win from that. And if you win with stealing a Gang, you get plus 1 point. This is called robbing a Gang. Now, how do you exactly rob a Gang? How does that even happen? Let's say player A has a triplet of 1 man, 1 character, and player B is now waiting for a win with 2, 3, and you're waiting for a 1 and a 4. Now what happens? If player A draws the last one and gangs it, player B takes the gang and declares a win, thus robbing his gang. This only exposed for exposed gang because that's the only way that you can steal it. Hidden gangs you can never know because it's already hidden. And the timing is weird. Let's say someone else throws out the 2. And one guy says gang and the other guy says hu. The person with hu takes priority first, so you can't really steal it from that. Or the other one is where he just draws it himself and says gang. That case you basically you cannot take it. Unless it's 13 orphans. 13 orphans is the only exception. Okay. Funny story, I told my friend, hey, do you guys know about robbing a gang? Oh, that's an extra point if you actually do it. Then 20 minutes later, I robbed the gang from him. He wasn't very happy. Hi Tyrone if you're watching this. Now, the next ones will be big wins and honors. These wins and honors are usually what we call a high pointers. They're very valuable to have. But most of the time, the chances of you hitting them is very rare. For example, you win with 2 triplets of any the 3 honors, and the last is a pair, it's 3 points. So green dragon, white dragon, red pair. The 2 honor triplets have already been counted in the calculations, and this is called 小三人. 3 points. This is oftentimes paired up with half flush to make you into a 5-point hand. You can change the red, you can change the pair to be a green one, change the pair to a white one. You just need to have 2 triplets and a pair of the honors itself. What about 3 triplets of honors? This is 7 points. This is known as 大三人, 3 greatest scholars. In some rules, you can just reveal that you have the 3 triplets and you win on the spot. I don't know why. I think it takes away the skill of the game. I don't allow you to do that. This one, if let's say someone else already sees the first 2 exposed, and the third one hasn't been exposed, and you throw this one, and he wins, you pay up. You pay up everything. Because it's not our fault that you decide to be an idiot here. Win with 3 triplets and a win of wins, and the last is an I plus 4 points. The seed win and the round win triplet will be counted if you have any, and this is known as a 小四息 or 4 little blessings. This hand is weird. This hand by right is 2 points for your round win and a seed win, and then additional 2 points for collecting it. But like, what if your round and seed, let's say your seed win is the south, and the win triplet is the north. Then you only get 1 point, and then you have the total 1 plus 2, so it's only a 3-point hand. And it's just, they say that this hand is worth less than the 小三人, which I'm like, I don't know, I think this is worth more. That's why I say this is 4 points, this is 3 points. 1 point more, because this is how rare it is. Like the 小三人is very easy to pair up with half flushes. Oh, that was me almost. Then you win with 4 triplets of all the wins plus 7 points. 大四息. Hey, that's really good. Now, this is the last one. We win with only honors and wins, or the white color, the white stuff, plus 7 points. Known as 紫一色, all honors. I almost got it. It's dead. It's dead on the ground. There's one here, there's one here, so my north wind is gone. Then the white dragon, one here, white honor is here and here. Both of them gone. If I won with this hand, it's a 7-point hand. It's a 7-point hand. And I couldn't because it's all gone! You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I won that day. It's fine. Now, before we move on to the regular ones, we have the 13 orphans, which segues into one of the most famous hands. It's known as 13 demons or 13 orphans, or called 13 妖. The win condition is have 1 copy of each terminal, win and honor, and a pair of any of them, plus 7 points. So this is an example. This is the character terminal, 1, 9. This is the character terminal, ball terminal, 1, 9. There's a 9 here as a pair, 1, 9 as bamboo. East, north, southwest, I am not going to point it because I'm too lost. Red honor, green honor, white honor. This is 7 points. There's another variation where you don't have the pair itself and you're waiting for the pair itself. This is called a 13-sided wait. So some places pay double for the 13-sided wait and then the single wait for the 13 orphans. This is mine, by the way. 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, pair of 9. 4 wins, 3 honors. My brother gave it to me. Best brother of that day. And then I keep on laughing to him. He lost my mother's money anyways. Speaking of terminals, if you win with only terminals, 1 and 9s only, 7 points. So terminals or qing, I can't read 9. I'm sorry. I'm too tired to read it now. Now we have some combination hands that are going to be pretty high. If you have a full flush with all sequence, 7 points. Full flush with smelly sequence, 5 points. Full flush with all triplets, 7 points, because 4 plus 2 is, full flush gives you 4 points already. And concealed all triplets, 7 points. This is harder than actually sounds, because it means that you need to have all 4 of them hidden. You cannot expose a single one. This is what we call 四暗刻, or 4 concealed triplets. Suited hands. If you win with this specific hand in any suit, plus 7 points. This is called the 9 gates or 9 lanterns, 九连宝灯. It is very special because any single tile in the suit wins you the game. So here it is. Oh, this is the win version, but it's supposed to be 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9. So it's supposed to be 3 1s, 1 of each from 2 to 8, 3 9s. You get that, that's 7 points. And there's an impure version, which is something like, let's say instead of let's say you're waiting on the 2 now. You have 4 1s and you're waiting on the 2 here. This is still considered the 9 gates or 9 lanterns, but it is impure. The main point is that you need 3 of the 1s and the 9s, and that each one will have 1 of each. 2 to 8. It is very special because any tile in the suit wins you the game itself. Next one will be 2 suited hands, which is 绿色 or all green. This may be known as Imperial Jade, as what my brother liked to say. You can only win with 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 bamboo with the green honor to get 7 points. The reason why 1, 5, 7, and 9 are not allowed is because they have red strokes in them. So this is an example of an all green hand. For example, this one, see there's a stroke of red, cannot, no count. This one, stroke of red, doesn't count. Let's say, let me just find. This one, red stroke, doesn't count. Okay, let's just go back. Now with a miscellaneous hand. If you win with 18 tiles, which is only possible with your hand being all gangs, 7 points, known as the 18罗汉 or 18 arcams. If you win with 8 flowers, 7 points as well. It's not the usual Mahjong win. You just have all the 8 flowers from 1 to 4, and you win. If you have 7 flowers and some other guy grabs the last flower, you steal and you win. He will have to pay double because, you know, he's the shooter. Or he pays off, depending on the rules. If you win after 7 consecutive dealership, 5 points every hand. This is not plus 5. It is just change your hand to 5. It doesn't matter your actual hand value. You still need a minimum of 1, but if you just win from there, it becomes 5 points immediately. You will be punched if this happens. If you are dealership for 7 to 8 rounds, people will get pissed at you. And then you can just start acting cocky if you want to get hit lah. Now this is the first round finish. Let's say you're sick of games. You know, you just want to win. As a dealer, you open your tiles. Oh, you win. Heavenly win. 天胡, 7 points. If let's say the dealer discards his first card and you win, earthly win, 地胡. If you win on your first draw, oh, 地胡, earthly win again. If you win on the non-dealer discard before drawing your first tile, 人胡, this is known as the humanly win, but it's weird and some places don't really count it. Because of how rare it is, not many people talk about it. So let's say, I'm dealer, the next person plays it, and you win from that guy. That is 人胡. But let's say you're North win, which is the last guy to play. The 2 other players throw you the winning tile. That's 人胡as well. If this is the first round finish. Second round onwards, it doesn't count anymore. Conclusion. TLDR, hands have value. Points, fun and tie. The more points you have, the more money you win or lose. The point system usually goes 1, 2 or 0.3, 0.6 in Singapore. Or shooter pays all or shooter pays double. If you're not sure, just ask. There's 3 main ways to get points. Getting through flowers or honors or wins, through your hand construction, or praying to your actual great Mahjong god. This can be Jesus, this can be Sai Seng Ye, this can be... You know, I actually realized I don't know much gods. Well, that's awkward. Well, yeah, just pray that you can get it. Next week, we shall go through some actual viable tips to improve and hopefully help you win. This video really took me a very long time. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. I'll be posting part 3 next week, hopefully. Thank you very much for watching and I hope to see you guys next time.